welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays our wonderful Christmas D&D one-shot. Thank you, Brad.
Deck the
Brad's
halls
excited.
with boughs of gristle.
Oh, that's Dace with another another hot remix. Also joined by Jean, virtually.
Hello.
And then by Brad.
Hello.
And again, special guest, Ron.
We still going.
That's right. Still completely in character. So let's jump right back in. Last time we found out what these guys have been doing for the last year. They found themselves in Lake Forge. They opened up the House of the Rising Sun, which is known on the streets as Lathander's Latrine, apparently, which I'm sure is going to be super popular. With people listening to this, they'll think that's really funny. They're like, well, wait a second. Lathander's followers would never let that be done. Okay, whatever. Not that we're done.
So he's just, Lathander is like a very good deity, like
yes.
the best of the best.
Yes.
Okay.
He's very much like he's one of the classic, like, good,
Okay.
like lawful good, I think, kind of deities.
Which makes sense why Tamp is following him.
Because Tamp is just so lawful in everything he does.
Ward again, he's a little baby.
Okay.
So, you guys have been doing some work, kind of running down some stuff for the Richter Initiative, just kind of doing some odd jobs for them. And now they've come to you and said, hey, listen, we'll consider your debt paid in full if you'll do one last job for us. One last job. The Irrigan Academy of Magical Studies, just known as the Academy or the University or whatever, is having a big gala. Somewhere high in the towers or low in the dungeons is this mineral that we need a sample of, this ossite, this bone-like crystal that grows. There's apparently a sample of it here. We need you to find it. We need you to bring it back to us. Specifically, there's a big gala going on. So there's going to be some opportunities for you to infiltrate. You guys have been transported. You guys have accepted this. Some strange bargain was struck between Leon and Blaze, which I'm convinced Brad thinks he has the upper hand on.
I'm curious about that.
Can't wait to see where that goes. But you guys have been transported to Queen's Landing, which is the kind of the town there near the university. And you have 2 weeks to kind of figure this out. So we need to plan a heist. All right? So here's what we don't need to happen. We don't need to get crazy into the nitty-gritty. Why not, you may ask? 1, it's terrible to listen to. 2, there is a game system out there that already has a mechanic for this.
Love this.
And boy, how I could see Dace's eyes lighting
so
up.
Smart.
We're gonna play a game within the game.
We're gonna play a game of the game.
And it's Magic the Gathering.
It's Magic the Gathering, right? Peace! Sean, look under your chair, you have cards! And something else I got someone to do on fire. Break into Jean's house and put Magic the Gathering cards.
Jokes on you upstanding.
Oh, that's right. Look in your pants. So,
Doing some Blaze in the Dark.
Blades in the Dark. Something we've talked about a lot. Which is basically a game of just heist in a lot of ways. Has a bit of a mechanic for this, where instead of planning everything ahead of time, you have a certain amount of flashbacks that, like when you're watching Ocean's 11 or something like that, and it looks like they come up to the big vault door or something, and you're like, oh, how are they going to do this? But then there's a flashback to something they had prepared earlier, that they had paid someone off or something like that. That's what the flashbacks are. Now, you don't have an infinite number. Okay? And I think that what you're going to have, I think that each of you, where I'm going to I'm just making a decision here. Each of you guys are going to have 3 of these flashbacks available to you. Now, that's a lot of flashbacks between all of you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and I almost think it's too many.
No way.
But
So I've never played this, but it'll be like there's a problem to solve, and we can pull a random flashback basically, and these are either going to be good or bad. Are they always good or what?
But they will be flashbacks, and that you can roll some skills to determine how good they end up being.
Okay. Gotcha.
Cool.
Right.
I'm stoked for this.
Yeah. And this will also demonstrate exactly how little I know about Blades in the Dark. Which I'm sure.
Well, this is cool concept.
Yes.
I like it.
Blades in the D and dark.
Blades in the D and Dark.
Does that work?
Copyright.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Trademark.
You got us copyright struck by 2 large companies.
Cool.
All right. So, but that being said, I still want to give you guys an opportunity to do some prep, or to maybe do some recon, or figure out. So you guys are here in this town, Queen's Landing. You have 2 whole weeks. Let's just say you have lodging. You have lodging in a local tavern that's already been arranged for you.
So
and you can observe what's going on at the academy these next few days.
What is this area like? Is it like small town that's given life by the academy? And
basically,
okay.
Now, basically, the town is something that is one of those towns that would not exist without the academy. It is where a lot of the professors and a lot of the lay staff who work at, or maybe even some of the students, live down in there rather than living. Not everyone lives at the academy itself, in the dormitories.
Well, this is well, I guess we'll all have like a little conference after we're shoved outside of this transmutation. I think it's fairly straightforward what we need to do. We need to kidnap a professor in the dark alley and beat him till he tells us what we want.
Well, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. And I would add that I need to find out the major arcane manufacturers and distributors in this city so I know where not to go.
Right. No one here has any of that. I want you to be safe. We do not have any arcane.
Right.
No one will give any to you.
I appreciate that.
Temp, I might have some.
I'm born again, brother. Get that shit away. Praise Lathander, praise Lathander.
I'm not sure, Blaze, what your, how you say alignment is, but we kind of just do what we want in our own interest, and we do not care what others think of the outcome.
We are aligned. 50-50, we're aligned.
Right.
The other 50 ain't aligned. That's what worries me.
So, I think I want to send Polo, Marco, and Tamp. We want to trace a professor into a dark alley at night.
You're actually going to do this.
Yeah.
I think,
that's going to be our first reconnaissance if we get.
why not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not? All right, then how about this? I want you guys to roll me some type of. So first you need to locate yourself a professor, right? And then you need to find a professor who happens to be walking down an alley, possibly intoxicated or something like that, So
maybe either me and Blaze would be on the recon part, and then they would be on
these two sneak up.
Yeah.
Maybe we. I wonder if we could find rumors about maybe one of the professors is addicted to arcane, and so they'd be at an arcane den.
Why would Tamp even want to know that though?
Well, he's got to figure out where the dens are, so he knows not to go there.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna tell you that's probably gonna be an investigation roll, honestly, like an investigation or some type of. I will say I will let Tamp roll this at a flat 0 straight up roll because Tamp still knows from the old days how to find himself an arcane den.
Okay, good, because otherwise I'd be rolling with a -1.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to roll in this, see if you can find a place. Where do the professors who are get a little loose? Where do they hang out?
I got a 10.
A 10?
The most boring number to roll.
It's a very boring number.
I guess I will help out Tamp. You're a bit out of practice. He also got a 10.
You also got 10. What does Polo have anything? That's
Investigation.
relevant?
Polo, he's just kind of bored at this point, but aggressively staring at him.
Okay.
But he's
13.
15 plus 2.
Oh.
Let's stay back here.
It's 15 plus, yeah,
Okay.
15.
All right. Polo is able to track something down. Does Polo know what an arcane den is, or does he just like know what it looks like when people are sketchy?
He, coming from a bit of that background, spending so much time in dark dungeons and, cellars and stays to the shadows a lot. He's aware of what arcane den is. He doesn't partake, but he stays out of, his trouble.
He just likes to watch.
He likes to watch chaos, places like that.
Polo and Blaze have more in common than we think. They just like to lurk.
Okay, I will say that you guys are able. Well, I'll say that you guys are able to find basically like an arcane den, and you can stake the place out at night if you want. Now, here's the thing: is the professors and the students, they walk around and often come straight to and from the university in robes and stuff like that, and it's not unusual to see someone who's like pretty obviously a professor, now. But how likely is it that we're going to see a professor tonight? Not very likely.
Damn.
Now, here's my question. Do you guys want to spend a few nights on this and try to find somebody?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. The third night that you guys are staking this out, that was a natural 20 on the third.
Ooh. Jackpot.
Oh, yeah. Jackpot. Not only do you see what appears to be like a retirement party or something like that of like a bunch of these professors all go in. They're all just going to get fucked up.
We could get more than one.
You can get more than one.
We could get a lot of.
By the end of the evening, you specifically see two professors, a man and a woman, kind of like just absolutely wired on arcane, just losing it as they leave, like stumbling back, kind of arm in arm. As they're making their way through some pretty sketchy areas to get back to where they live.
This is our chance, guys. Now, who wants to take the woman and who wants to take the man?
I like the way the man look.
You want to say that again?
I like the way the man look.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, no, calm down. You get the man.
Now, he's got to stay alive. Remember, that's key.
What?
It's like when you poke with the knife, but you turn the knife backwards and poke that way.
Yeah, stab him again.
Yeah, but not with the sharp point, with the unsharp point. Look, like this. He takes the knife and turns it around and gives it to him. Yes.
I just imagine Polo's just like frozen.
Blank confusion.
Polo.exe has stopped working.
Abject confusion. He has no clue what he's trying to get him to do.
What do you even want me to do?
Yeah. Knives are. You don't use knives that way.
Leon leans over to Blaze. He's like, this is kind of an experimental type thing for him, so we will see how it happens. We might get one, we might get two.
We're not confident in his ability to engage in combat without the intent of gory death.
We might
We'll
miss
see.
too.
So I'm gonna go ahead and so let's just see how this goes. I feel like I know how it's gonna go. Give me a stealth roll for Polo. Let's see what we do here.
What is that? 6, 11?
Yeah.
Yep, 11 plus 6.
17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's more than enough for these people who are not like terribly well with it at this time. You're able to kind of position yourself in front of them in a way, like where they're like coming down an alleyway and toward you, and Tamp is behind them. So just real quick, what happens? What do you want to happen?
Temp cracks his knuckles and he's like, have you heard the good news?
What does Polo do?
Polo looks down, and in his left hand, he has the knife.
That's backwards.
It's backwards. In his right hand, he's holding his regular dagger because nobody turned that way. he looks back and forth. And he drops the one that was turned back around.
All right. So we're gonna say that the man dies. The male professor is dead, leaving you with this woman. She's like, she's probably just like a half elf, so she's in her 50s or 60s, and she's terrified, absolutely terrified that you have just murdered this. Are you going to take her somewhere or just interrogate her in the street?
Maybe like put a bag on her head and take her back to our digs.
Okay, all right.
We just take it right back to where the the
circle was, like a warehouse. You can probably find some type of warehouse, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you have prepared some place like this earlier. So give me some rolls to see what we get out of this woman. And tell me also what you want to know.
Well, I would suggest he says earmuffs for the woman. She'll see. No offense, Blaze, but you look like a scary dragon. You should intimidate her.
I'm a little bit untouched. Thank you. This is partnership material. So intimidation. That's a 19.
A 19.
And remember, we want to ask her about what was the name? Sorry.
The academy?
No, the name of the mineral.
Oh, Osite.
We want her to tell us where the Osite is.
Oh, Blazy, everything.
Excuse me?
Everything.
Osite. You're so hissy that Discord doesn't even want to tell you doesn't think that you're speaking.
Tell Blazy everything about Osite.
Yes.
It's very scary.
It's a liberal arts professor.
Yeah, she has no idea what you're talking about. She doesn't know what Osite is at all.
Then Blazy goes, tell Blazy everything about how to get into the party.
Now, I want to make this clear. You're telling her your name.
Yes.
Okay.
Blazy refers to himself in the third person.
Okay. She'll tell you. She's like, I don't know. There's lots of people showing you. They just kind of. There's just not like an invitation only thing. She doesn't know. She's like, I guess you could. She's very clear to her that you guys have some nefarious purposes, but she's also afraid for her life. She's like, well, I think that. If you could blend in with all the nobles that are going to be there, the patrons.
Will you come with Blazy to the party?
No.
Are you sure?
You seem like a real bot skill. No.
I like this man's style.
Did he just ask her on a date?
I think so. This is romantic.
In the way that John Cusack standing outside with a boombox is romantic, not at all a little bit stalker.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. Ask her, whispering in Glazy's ear. Ask her if there's any mineral. Who is the head of the mineral department? A geologist.
You sound like a regular mundane geologist.
Blazy wants to know about the rocks, please.
She'll tell you that they have different specialties, that there are different professors, but that most of that stuff is in the labs, and the labs are in the towers, and there are like kind of like low-level student labs, and then the higher up you get, there are more private labs that are kind of controlled by like the really uppy up wizards.
Mm.
So the higher we go in the academy, the closer we get to the bone rock.
Or
Our sight.
the lower we go, the higher we get. I got a plan.
I cannot wait to hear this. She's like, yeah, sure, plan. Can I go?
Lazy.
Blazy, I mean, do you want to give her your number or something?
Yeah.
I will need two things from you. I need your number and all your gold.
She gives you 10 gold. 10 gold that she has on her person.
So
And her
you're
number.
interrogating her and robbing her,
mugging
but
her,
also.
yeah.
And she does not give you her number because that's weird.
I feel like I should roll for this. This is shenanigans, DM.
A DM has to know when to put his foot down. Also, they don't have phone numbers because they don't have phones. There's that.
Fine.
So are you going to cut this person loose?
Polo. No. Polo's over. Polo. It is time. And he just
Wait, Polo.
stick.
I'm born again. I can't watch while you do it.
He's going to jab her in the throat with his dagger.
All right.
He's not asking permission. He's just going for it.
You see, Blaze, this is kind of why it's only been the three of us for so long. It's hard to get anybody around that doesn't stab. You should be honored.
You should be honored.
Indeed.
All right. So you have figured out that there are some labs high up in the towers. Anything else that you guys want to try to figure out, or what about what way do you guys want to infiltrate as? I would encourage you to all stick together because I really don't want to run separate things.
She's encouraged the royal thing, but I think we would fit better if we were like from another country, like you said, like students or potential students touring the campus because we all look so odd.
I was
Possibly, but Tap looks like a 50-year-old meth head.
He's also a minotaur. Let's keep in mind.
So I think we should go as the staff.
Was that an option? Like,
yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So the options are that guests or nobles, staff, wait staff, cooks, that kind of thing, or maybe even security or something, or as foreign diplomats or foreign students.
We could do that.
Diplomats could work. I got too hung up on the student thing. What do y'all think about foreign diplomats?
Yep. Sounds
Sure.
good.
Works.
Where will we be from?
Which definitely does not exist. That one's going to be a hard sell if you're going to start pulling out. If you're going to start pulling out empires that do not exist, that's going to be super hard. That being said, there are empires that do exist in this game. There is. You could also say that you were just from far-flung parts of the empire as well. But there is a place called the Republic of Tamal, which is kind of like a desert empire. There's an aptly named Nowhere, which no one is from.
I want to be an ambassador of Halfton.
I don't know if you've heard of Afton. But it's not crazy to think that there are sometimes these little kingdoms, these little that kind of.
So that's
my family's trailer park.
because it's all half. Yeah, because it's like half beast people.
Yeah.
Like minotaurs and.
Yeah. Are you guys on to be necessarily foreign? You could be from the empire and just a noble of some type, but also that's not necessarily a patron, right?
I like half din. It's like you're a minotaur, you're half dragon, you're like half baby. You're like half a baby. And
And you can be the translator.
Yes, that's a word.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. So you guys are going to go under the auspices of being from Halfton, which I assume you're not going to say is a trailer park.
Right. It's a grand
Estate.
estate.
It's a grand estate. Okay.
It's a sovereign kingdom.
Yeah.
A sovereign,
Sovereign city-state.
like a sovereign city-state.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, that's not bad. You can be like, oh, it's like a city-state, like off the southern coast that has declared itself
Yes.
as a thing.
And we're sovereign citizens.
And you're sovereign
We're all
citizens.
libertarians.
You, of course, are sovereign citizens. And I will ask, is the Halfton that you were talking about, that you were diplomats from, also made up of primarily half one thing, half something else
Yeah, that was the thing.
individuals? Like Minotaurs and Dragonborn and Murder Gnomes, which I guess are half something. Wait, are you a gnome or halfling? I keep forgetting.
No. I mean, I'm a halfling.
You're a halfling. Okay.
Halfling.
Okay.
That was raised by Red Hats.
Yes.
Raised by Red
Yeah.
Hats or adopted at some point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, so that's the idea of how you're going to go. All right. Is there anything you'd like to do to prepare yourselves for this charade?
I do have a plan, but I think it would be better as a flashback.
Okay, you can keep it in your pocket.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I want to do?
We gotta get some threads.
Clothing.
We gotta look
Threads?
the part.
I would say that you could definitely spend a day throwing clothes together. Like, not a problem.
I want the gaudiest gold robes, big ass chains. I want a grill. I want a grill. Can we request some funds from the rich?
Do you want to use one of the favors that
Sure.
they gave you? You have 2 favors from the richer that you can use to basically prepare or make the way easier for yourself. Do you want to use one of those favors to deck Tamp out with a grill and gold chains?
Can we get everybody decked up?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Is
Um.
that what we're doing?
Well, we'll get that. I can enhance some of y'all stuff if y'all want.
Okay.
Who wants? This might be good for Polo. Boots of the Winding Path. You can grant you the wearer the ability to teleport up to 15 feet as a bonus action to an unoccupied space.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, those are clutch.
All right. Make a note. You have that on our fancy get up.
Okay.
What kind of weapon does Tamp have?
Great axe, which I'm sure will blend in perfectly.
You know, it's not unusual for, people to maybe have weapons that maybe are a little more decorative than a great axe. Like, imagine like a Napoleonic like politician with like a rapier or something like that. Like, so yeah, maybe a great axe is a little odd, but let's be frank, Tamp is already a Minotaur. Like, he's already going to stand out.
It adds to his air of the exotic.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, like, if you're going to use one of your favors to burn to like get you guys all threads, they're going to be really good. Like, they're going to be solid. Like,
Okay.
Definitely something that's going to like.
So we
make
have
it
like 2
easier for
favors we
you
can
to-
do.
You have 2 favors. If you're going to use one of them for that, like, this will basically make it. It'll make it believable. This is not just you going out to a secondhand store and buying what you think is nice.
I want them to bejewel my great axe.
Your great axe is now bejeweled. Congratulations.
And I'll you get a +1 to attack and damage rolls.
Awesome.
Because I'll infuse it with enhanced weapon.
+1 to attack and damage.
Yeah.
And I also want the back of my robes to say juicy.
Like the ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, do you have anything?
No, if anything, maybe there's some extra pockets in this one for, I don't know, carrying sneaky items.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. So you've got threads. Sounds like everybody's got the clothes, the get up you need.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Lays, do you want a infusion as well?
No, Blazy doesn't like using weapons. Blazy uses his
I was going to
weapons.
infuse a ring so that you have an extra level 1 or level 2 spell, but that's fine.
No, thank you.
He doesn't need it. Doesn't need it, doesn't want it. Okay, I can affect a man a lizard who sticks to his guns. All right.
Do we have any idea for the second favor?
This has to be prepared before we go. The favor,
Yes.
kind of. All right, we got a good get up.
If you want, and you were told that there are some agents there. Like, if you want to, for instance, hey, we want to maybe see if we can get a key to something, like a specific locked door or something like that.
Maybe if someone could leave one of the labs, that entrance to the labs at the higher level open.
Okay.
So we don't have to do any kind of lock picking or anything of that sort.
Okay.
Or there won't be anyone there. So we can get into that section.
Okay. No, I think that's something.
If y'all want to do that, I don't know what else.
I like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Also, I did forget here. It actually, to bring everything that you have, and probably some of your bigger weapons, is going to be a little bit odd.
Okay.
So you could also have them smuggled in for you.
Well, I mean, I just have a staff. That could be
Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to use your favor on laboratory, then do that. You want to leave at least some of the lower level labs unlocked.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know Tamp wants to go to the dungeon, it sounds like, which I'm not opposed to that, but it does sound like the
we need to go up.
The artifacts in the hut.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
So is there a way to find out a little bit more about what we're in for? Like maybe a map?
Oh, recon the actual place. Yeah, you guys could spend some time doing that. You could talk to people in town, or maybe even there's a lot of preparations going on. So they have a lot more people kind of moving in and out. They're throwing an event, they're throwing a party. So there's a lot of people moving in and out. You might be able to at least get an eyeball on where is the main party taking place? What's the inside? What's the layout of this place? You could get that info. That's something you guys want to spend this next few days doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have any gold? What if we got 4 potions of Featherfall?
Oh, I like where your head's at. I would say
every
that
heist needs a good exit plan.
Yeah, and that is a really good emergency exit plan when you're in a tall tower.
Yeah.
It's just to throw yourself from the heights. I think that would be doable, and actually
that goes perfect with our plan to fake our death too.
Excellent.
We're accidentally masterminds.
I would say that, given some time and can Leon make potions of feather falling? I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've looked at the.
I don't. I don't think so.
Okay. I would say that if you guys want to spend the rest of your time getting stuff together for potions and reconning the place as much as you can, I would say that would finish out your 2 weeks.
Okay.
Of time. Is that good?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, so each of you has a potion of feather falling.
Nice.
Which is going to be super useful. I'm sure it won't come up, so don't worry.
Right.
Don't even write it down. You don't need it. Hey, why would you need it? So in this time, you guys, we'll say that at least one of you, let's actually say that Blaze is able to do it. Blaze, at some point in time, is able to kind of get himself, it's just people moving equipment, or moving food or other stuff into and out of the academy. The academy is normally like locked up. Like you only get to come in and out like if you're a student there, if you're with someone. But there's a lot of stuff happening. They're going to be opening the gates and basically letting a lot of people kind of come and go. Blaze is able to kind of go there and meander around. You see that the bottom floor, like the ground floor, the first floor, is basically a giant atrium. And that looks to be where the majority of the party is going to be held. That there's the atrium, alchemical libraries, or alchemical laboratories and libraries on the first level. That the second level is classrooms and labs and like almost like museums, like art displays and stuff like that. It's on the second floor, and the third floor is all of the private labs. And it's very similar. The basement, the first level of the basement, is again more classrooms, actually where a lot of the dormitories are for this place. And the third, or the level below that, is more like it's storage and also like restricted labs and even like restricted libraries, like places where text, ancient important texts are kept and that kind of thing. So again, there is this kind of element, whichever direction you go, the further you get, the more restricted it is. To that end. So that's basically what Blaze is able to get. And I would say that Blaze, in your time reconning this place, you're able to actually see also to vaguely identify how does one get to the dungeons.
Okay.
And where are the stairs and stuff like that.
There's no indication of where the offsite is.
No, you're still nothing like that. This appears to be just as its intention or its use is kind of hard to suss. It doesn't seem like many people know about this. So it would follow that it is somewhere secure and pretty secretive. It's definitely not something there's a lot of scuttlebutt about.
Okay.
Cool.
So
I think we're prepared to win.
you guys are prepared to win and cannot be stopped. I think
Cannot be stopped.
Cannot be stopped.
We don't lose.
You can't.
Set for success.
Yes.
All right, Dan, do you have a prayer for us?
Gather around, my brothers. O holy Lathander, bless ye Morton Lord. I kneel down and kiss your sandals of gold, and nuzzle your golden sash, and feel it upon my face, that ye may give us the blessing of success, both spiritual and financial, in all of our endeavors, split 50-50 down the middle. And please fix Polo. He's extremely broken.
He's so damaged. So damaged.
As always, please fix Polo. Amen. And thank you.
That was some of your best, Dan.
Yeah, it was really good.
Appreciate it.
There's some people walking by on the street clapping. And I do imagine that at this point in time that Tampa's already wearing his gold. Like, I imagine you have those big puffy shoulders,
Hell yeah.
too. Like,
with the tassels, like a general, like Napoleon or something.
yeah. Okay, so let me get this, though. So who is who in this entourage?
I guess, like I said, I think your idea of me just being like a translator or cultural, like,
attaché.
yeah, to the three half things from Halfville. What was it called? Captain.
What specifically would we be? Would we be like warlords? The three different tribes of Halfton?
Oh, wait, you're a halfling. That makes perfect sense for you to be a member of Halfton. No, I think about it.
Halfling.
Yeah.
I'm confused with halfling.
What's a prettier word for warlord?
Dictator.
Non-consensual monarch.
President.
Okay, yeah. We're the three presidents.
Oh, I love where this is going already. So what is I don't know. Like, are you all just really coming in as diplomats? Just like, no, we're here to rub elbows.
I'm imagining
I think so.
Tep is the feature though. He's like blinged out. He's got juicy on his
Yeah.
ass, and I feel like everybody would be following around him as the El Presidente.
I like El Presidente. I think that's good.
El Presidente.
All right. So the night of the gala comes. There is a big spectacle of when the keep in mind this used to be a giant citadel. This was a military fortification. There's a big show of them opening the doors and letting people in. There's fireworks. The whole place is covered in beautiful banners and like in magical lights of all different colors all over the walls and everything. It is like it's gorgeous. And you guys are definitely, as unlikely as it is, you guys are not the most overdressed.
Oh.
This appears to not just be a gathering. This is an ostentatious thing. This is a thing that people come to be seen wearing. Like, this is like Lady Gaga would love this place. It's just all sorts of opportunity to wear the weirdest thing you can. And I imagine that you guys, and I do imagine you guys cleaned up pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, did Blaze not do anything? Was he just like, no, this is me?
He
I'm
just
gonna do my regular thing.
he has his scales are especially shiny tonight.
Gotcha. Yeah, you really got nice and lubed up, just in case.
Scale gel.
Scale gel. To hold your, but you want that. You want the scale gel with good hold, so it holds your scales just
Excellent.
right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it just looks like you got a facelift. It's just like,
It's just like straight back.
the alien from Men in Black when he pulls the skin back out.
What about Polo? It's Polo's look.
Polo. So, he made sure that he put on some extra red blush so his face would look younger. Maybe a little eyeliner. He's got this small golden robish thing on. And, what do you call them? Those things women wear that babies can wear. Romper. He's got a romper on.
Okay, you've got your dress romper with your cherubic little face with your blush. There was a second where I thought you were about to say that you had just like
dimples too,
Well, like the clowns that just have the circles drawn on there.
Circle of it. Perfect.
It's so terrifying.
It looks like the fucking thing from Dragon Ball Z that Tien has, the little baby.
I can't forget that little dude's name. Oh, dude. All right. Well, and like, and Leon, I assume, looks like a sage or some type.
Yeah, the softest, most velvety robe possible.
Okay.
And he has a little circlet that he had embroidered, Halfton.
Nice. Just across the board. Okay. All right, yeah, you guys make your way through the walls, through the gates, across the courtyard, and into the bottom floor, the atrium of the Irigan Academy. As you guys come in, I mean, there is music. There appear to be like, I don't know, like what would be the fantasy equivalent of like a snow machine type thing, like like
glitter.
Glitter dust.
Like glitter dust. Glitter dust, but because it's magic, it doesn't get anywhere. The second it touches anything, it disappears.
Yeah,
that would be truly magical.
That'd be way better. But there is, in the middle of the atrium, and the atrium is massive. In the middle of the atrium, there are tables. There is a dance floor. People are milling about, and you can see that all around the top part of the atrium is a huge balcony that goes into the second floor, where you can see that there are libraries, stuff like that. As you guys get in here, and at first you're just kind of meandering around, and some people, it's not like one of those things, like there's so many different nobles here, like they're not really doing like announcements, because there's so many people. They do send off people who like aren't dressed well enough. They have like a guy at the front who's like, no, you got to go to the other party where the not so nice people are at. That being said, but there are people all around you, and many of them appear to be noble people. Some of them wearing armor, that's like dress armor or military uniforms, or people who are obviously politicians or businessmen with big fancy hats, and women with dresses that have to have attendants carry them behind them. But it's not long after you guys get there where there is there's a gong. There's a gong, and at the very front of the academy, or at the very front, like up on a dais, you see like all attention turns, lights shine, and you see a gnome who is dressed in the colors of Irrigan Academy, and he introduces himself as let me get his name here, as Dominic Feiji, who is the kind of like he calls himself the chief mage here. You're not sure exactly where that falls in the hierarchy, but he basically welcomes everyone, but he makes it very clear. He says, I would like to, dedicate tonight. I would like to dedicate tonight to all of our wonderful patrons who make what the university does possible. And tonight we would like to give a special thanks and appreciation to one of our most generous donors, the father and son duo, Stephen Glomdrot first and second. And you see this very old man, the slightly not as old man, come up on the stage, and they basically have between them a giant paper check that they have between them. It's like the generous donation of the Glomdrot family has finally made the extension to the Academy's alchemical library possible, and we are proud to announce the beginning of our work on the Stephen Glomdrot III Memorial Library.
Leon's like, where have I heard that?
Rings a bell, don't it?
There's applause and everything, and Dominic Feiji says, please everyone continue to enjoy the festivities, take in the sights, and remember to keep those pocketbooks ready, and there's like a laugh that kind of goes up, from everyone. Everyone kind of knows what the game is here. This is an opportunity to be seen, but also an opportunity to give money and engage in philanthropy and all that. Could everyone make me some type of perception-related check, please?
Can I do a divine sense?
Why not? Do a divine sense.
All right. That's I can sense any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Interesting.
You can what?
Sense any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I got a net 20
on the rolls.
On my perception.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Then who needs to roll?
Yeah. But I can tell you, Blaze, you've already been here. Blaze has already been here. And some things kind of stand out to Blaze. First and foremost, Blaze, does Blaze remember who the Glomdrots are? Does that?
It's Stephen. The one with the book.
Yes. Right. Yes. Stephen, the one who, unless I'm mistaken, was killed in...
He forgets him. Like, how is Stephen? Every time Stephen's mentioned, how is Stephen doing?
You guys do remember that these Glomdrot people are apparently not very fond of you. But, maybe they wouldn't recognize you. But I would say, Blaze, that you do notice that they seem to be making the rounds. And you are concerned that that they might recognize you if they see you. So they seem to be someone to be kind of avoided. Also, something that Blaze notices is the local militia appears to be providing security this evening. They are all in their dark blue robes, kind of arrayed throughout, kind of meandering through the middle of things, but mainly on the periphery. but Blaze, you do spot one particular one of these guardsmen. You think he might be like the guard captain or something like that. He's got his hair slicked back, and he's got a chest full of medals. And he seems to not just be rubbing elbows, he seems to be paying particular attention to the people here. Maybe not so much interrogating people, but...
So we have the Globetrotters we need to stay away from. We have this head of the militia who's rubbing elbows, and then we also have Dominic, who seems to be the chief mage.
Mm-hmm.
So who do y'all think we should interact with to find this?
Did I get anything from Divine Sense?
Yes, you do. So tell me, does Divine Sense just tell you there's something nearby, or does it tell you where it is? This might be a question for the internet.
The presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and powerful good rings like heavenly music. So, I mean, can you sense where the smell is coming from?
I'm not sure about that. Like, it seems to be... This says, you know the location of Celestial Fiend or Undead. So, that's handy.
Okay.
So, yes, you do know where.
You can distinguish between which one it is, too?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm almost certain. We're going to say, yes.
Okay.
Tamp is surprised to feel at least 3 undead presences here on the floor of the atrium.
I smell necromancy.
Maybe we could, you think there might be some information that would be useful to this head of the militia? Maybe we tell him there's some undead here, some unsavory people. He gives us the key or gives us a direction to where this bone mineral is.
Possibly. This mineral is a property of the college, right?
I don't know if we know that specifically.
I'm wondering if these undead know anything about where it is.
Oh, it is bone. That would make sense. Nice thinking.
It clean does that. It really clears your mind.
You guys are getting really close to the all undead know stuff about bones. Like, they all know that stuff.
It's right there in the Latin root of the word. Oocyte, osteoporosis, other such words such as that.
Let's go with that. Let's find the undead. Sniff it out. Can you get to where exactly this undead is?
Yeah, I would say that you probably can. And Polo is falling close behind.
Polo is definitely close behind, but kind of sticking to the shadows at this point.
Okay. All right. So, and everyone's for the most part, everyone here is taller than Polo. So it's not hard to even, like, in a crowded place, it's not hard to just slip behind people.
Dominic sees Polo.
It's just gives a nod.
Only 2 short people.
You approach what appears to be a table with a few people sitting at it, which is the nearest one of these undead presences. And you see sitting at it, flanked are like 4 or 5 people. Each of them appear to have like bodyguards or entourage people with them. And one of the people at this table is definitely undead. Tamp can tell you that. They are exuding that presence.
And what do they look like?
Yeah,
They all look totally normal. They are all well dressed. They're all well appointed. At least one of them is wearing the professorial robes of the university.
So he could be out of place, or he could just be like a specialist in necromancy.
The latter is what I was thinking.
Oh.
Like, Joe mentioned that the extension was for the alchemical library, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's maybe where we need to look, and maybe he's a professor.
I think we should ask him if he knows anything about these. Say the name one more time.
Offsite.
Offsite.
Well, hell yeah, brother. Blaze, thoughts?
Oh, Blazy will ask them. And Blazy
Is
goes...
Blazy good at talking?
Blaze is great at talking. Blaze will go up and strike up a conversation. So, I don't know if anybody in here is of the
I wish you
undead.
could hear Dace rubbing his temple.
Blaze would like to know where this new lab does. What does it do in the lab? He's going to ask anyone
I
in
will
this group.
assume that your insertion into this conversation is smoother than that.
Yeah, he's
Why
going to
don't you roll
roll
me a dice?
a charisma at 25.
Oh lordy, smooth
Wow.
like butter. Blaze is able to insinuate himself in. The four other people who are well dressed, they don't seem to know much about it, but the professor will tell you, yes, we're the Gomdrot's wealthy family from Highwall have donated a generous portion to expand our alchemical library of text and materials. And what is it for? Because we need more, I guess. He doesn't have a good answer for you outside that it's going to expand the capabilities of the university to teach alchemy. Yes, it's a wonderful project, and he seems to be kind of like, you get the feeling that he was given talking points, earlier this evening.
So
as like a member of the staff.
while he's talking, Blaze is going to just drop in. And the undead welcome in this area.
You kind of drop. You say that a little lower.
The undead welcome in this area. The undead welcome at this university. And he's going to keep an eye out to see if anybody is awkwardly, shifting.
These four people, they're like, there's like a woman there with a fan, and she's like, oh, the undead, how dreadful. But you feel, I'll say that you've sat down next to this professor and you feel his hand on your leg, not like sexy, like you feel like a hand tighten around your knee, very, very tight, bordering on painful. He's just, oh, I'm sure the reputation of the university would never be sullied by such a thing. How dreadful indeed. If you would excuse me. And he pushes himself up from the table and makes his way, but does leave it a little bit clear that maybe you are to follow him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we found him. We got him.
And Tanth, the undead energy goes with him.
That right there, that's a lich. Really vampire.
A lich vampire?
A lich vampire? A vampa lich?
Blaze, we should be very careful. Where is he going?
He seems to be heading towards the stairs that go down to the dungeons.
Polo, you feel like a little bit of sneaking?
Do vampires bleed?
That is a fantastic question.
Because we know the wisdom is that if they bleed.
Yeah.
In D&D, do vampires bleed?
Sure.
This is like actually a contested point in vampire novels, because if they don't bleed, how do they get erections?
Oh well, yeah, and it's and as we know, vampires fuck.
So. Yeah, they're sexy as hell. I won't say yeah.
Polo just turns around and starts following him.
He's on the trail.
He's on the trail.
So can Polo sneak maybe ahead of us and see where they're going, even though they want us to follow? Maybe, but we're not. They can't sense that we're following if he succeeds in his sneak.
Yeah, you can roll a sneak check if you want to be sneaky about it. I'd say that'd be more than fine. There, he makes his way towards the edge of the atrium. There's a side room, and as you go through it, you see that there are stairs down. And Blaze, are you following him?
Yeah, I think we're all together. I don't know. Well, I'd be following, yeah.
Are you guys going as a big clump?
But maybe Polo's sneaking there.
I'm still, yeah.
It's never bad to have someone sneaking.
Polo, you stay to the shadows. and when I give the signal, you stab them.
Just stab him a lot.
Polo just kind of stabs.
Yes, like
takes
that.
his dagger out.
I like that. He picks him up and turns around. Go.
Polo just scuttles off.
All right, I guess.
Well, give me your sneak roll. Let's see.
Would that be the stealth roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 21.
Nice.
21. That's a pretty good one. That's not a terribly good roll, but just because you're so stealthy, you still
I got
get that
plus
far.
11.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so we know this guy has something to do with the undead, you said, Blaze? And wants us to follow.
He squeezed my knee. It was weird.
He may just want to hook up.
Maybe.
So he's either undead or horny.
Why not both?
Alright, we'll kind of make our way toward the chamber.
You go down the stairs, and there is, I assume Blaze is kind of leading the way, but these other two are obviously with you, and Polo is sticking to the shadows. You guys make your way down, and there's this large open area. It's all stone down here, like stone blocks. And it appears to be a kind of a, you were maybe kind of expecting like dank and dark. It's actually very warm. There's like a fireplace down here, like rugs, and like a big table. It almost looks like a study room kind of thing, like down here. And there are more stairs going down further and rooms coming off of it. And he is standing there. He's standing there in front of what looks like, it looks like he has pulled one of the bookshelves to the side. And behind the bookshelves looks to be a whack of wine bottles, like hidden. And he is pulling out one of the bottles. Yes, come. Oh, friends as well. Welcome to the academy.
Yes, here. CC and BB, we are from Afton. I see you've already met Blaze, our foremost expert on all things magic, and this is our El Presidente, Tamp.
He'll just like kind of nod his horns. He doesn't like this dude.
Yeah, and he stands there. He's like, and he's very well dressed again, very professorial. And he says, yes, well. He turns to Blaze, and as he pours the bottle, you see that, it is, it's going to spoil this for you now. It's not wine, it's blood.
Blood.
As he pours a glass for himself, it says, "Would anyone else be partaking?"
I think I will pass on this offer, but I am grateful. Seems that's quite an acquired taste you have there. I didn't catch the name.
Oh, pardon me. I am Professor, name who does not exist yet. I'll pop this up the cure in a moment.
Mr. Bloodman.
Bloodman, yes. Professor Bloodman.
Professor Bloodman. Well, I have to say, this is quite nice for a dungeon.
Oh, the dungeons were originally as one would expect, but they have been transformed, to fit the university's purpose. But I, as much as I am, as I love to give a tour, it is a little bit below my station. I am curious at how you knew about our university's best kept little secret.
The Arcite?
The what?
Arcite?
Double down.
That's amazing.
What is Arcite?
I,
Professor Bloodman, have never heard of Arcite.
What's your field of expertise, Professor?
Necromancy. As you guys lock eyes.
Could you have said that more intensely?
Necromancy.
Fuck.
well, I have to tell you, we're not, that's all well and good, but I do not like dead people. or dead things or anything like that. We are looking for something very specific. I believe it was called eyesight.
How many times are you going to say that nonsense word to me?
What was it called?
Eyesight.
Okay. But I will. Yes. We traveled far for this bone material. Have you ever heard of anything like that here?
I have not, but what I'm curious of is how your friend here knew of. And you see it kind of dawn on him. He's like, wait a second. I may have said too much. You knew. Are you one of the night?
He shrugs.
Well, here, it would be rude of me not to offer you a drink. And he hands you his wine glass of blood. Drink.
But quick metagame. I'm not sure, but does anything happen if you go and drink blood as a dragonborn?
No.
You explode.
I imagine it's really gross.
He'll take it. Be like, Blazy wants to know why you squeezed his knee. And he takes a sip and looks intently in his eyes.
I want to slap it. Attempt to slap it out of your hand.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess opposed. What will we roll opposed there?
Well, I don't know. Is Blaze going to attempt to dodge, or is he just going to let it be slapped out?
No, he'll just let it go.
Okay, yeah, you can just do it.
I can't keep it down no longer. In the name of Lathander, the Morning Lord, die, you monster!
He holds up a finger. Now, gentlemen, I understand that encountering the undead is often troubling, but I assure you, there are many on staff who are afflicted, so even interested in returning to their old lives, their old life, indeed. We live here and study. We are not the evil monsters that some of our kind are in the countryside. I am a professor. I'm a professor first and foremost, and a vampire second.
You said you're undead, but you ain't evil?
Jury's out. But...
Are y'all gonna do anything to stop Tamp?
Leon's just like watching the conversation. You have to excuse my friend. It's from our culture. There's like he doesn't like
from Hafton.
Right.
Hafton.
Yes.
I've never heard of Hafton.
Well, it's a new place. That's for sure.
New. Strange. They don't often make new places.
Well, you're right. I cannot give up this fight anymore, but how about it seems you want some information from me, and I do not suspect you are telling me all of your story either.
Well, I am in no position to tell you my story. I think I'm going to go back upstairs, gentlemen.
I think that's a good idea.
Can I try to persuade him?
Give me a persuade check. Give me some persuading.
Persuasion. 23.
Okay. Alright. With a 23, which is decently clutch, he says, I think we got off to the wrong foot here. Listen. It is obvious that you are no regular visitors. But it would be awfully uncouth for me to sully the good reputation of this place by exsanguinating you all here underneath a party. So I will not do so. You will go your way, and I will go mine. Do we have an accord?
On a scale of 1 to 20, how strong does this guy look?
If I were to give it a number, a rating of how challenging It is a challenge rating.
Interesting.
If you will, from 1 to 20. I would say 13.
Yo.
Yeah, that sounds good, brother.
Wait, I guess we watched him leave, but we can stay in this room.
Yeah, he's like he like closes the false bookcase back over the bottles. He says, "I bid you a good evening."
Well, I have to say I'm pretty proud of us. I mean, we didn't really get into bar or anything, but we have gone through an entire counter and no one died.
At this point.
Not yet.
And what's more, he left all his blood behind. Tap opens the car and just smashes it off.
All right. That's a good place. Break here for just a minute. Oh, guys, you guys are so totally fun. I'm loving this. All right, everyone, listen. Thank you so much for joining us for a one shot. We'll be back. We're going to take a break for us recording here, and then we're going to be back. Let's see who else these guys could piss off along the way. It's always a fun adventure.
All right.
Everyone, thank you for listening. We will catch you next time. And remember, stay safe and stay sane. Bye.